For hey, Matt, what is it time for?
We have talks.
Well, yes, but don't we usually? Oh, there's something off to your right hand. Okay, it's a quick
Ah,
note about something that has been bearing on my mind and heart over the last 21 months, and quite frankly, the last 11 years. The National MS Society is a collective of passionate individuals who want to do something about MS now, to move together towards a world free of multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is comprised of unpredictable and often disabling flare-ups of the central nervous system. Such flare ups disrupt the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and the body. The National MS Society is the largest private funder of MS researchers in the world. They're investing more than $1 billion to date. MS stops people from moving, but the National MS Society exists to make sure that MS doesn't. To contact the National MS Society, please call 1 800 344 4867. Once again, 1 800 344 4867. Or go to their website at nationalmssociety.org. Importantly, we are still raising money for the National MS Society through a venture to a cure. This page was created in conjunction with the Walk MS back in April. The fundraising effort will end at the end of September, and you can reach that fundraising effort at rebrand.ly slash a venture to a cure. Once again, rebrand.ly slash a venture to a cure. Thank you to all of you who have donated money to this amazing organization or have even gone to the National MS Society to learn more about multiple sclerosis and demyelination. It touches me and over the 1 million people in this country who have multiple sclerosis in so many ways. And we appreciate all of you. And on that,
it's time to talk.
ever have strange things happen to you in a short period of time and you say, well, Mercury must be in retrograde or there's a full moon out or something to that extent? What happens when both are going on at the same time? Mercury being in retrograde and there's a harvest moon tomorrow. Today was strange. Outside of breaking a bike and spin class and my phone accidentally calling my emergency contacts like something happened, today was a very strange day. But strange day or not, do you know what we do on Fridays? Have a conversation about anything and everything with Matt Haas, Paul Burke, and all of you, because this is VF Talks. Good afternoon, and welcome to VF Talks. I'm John Venturini, and that is a cantankerous Triceratops who is a T-Rex, and because we are going to be short on time, he has no comment right now. Let's see who is on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter this evening. We have Robin's Buys and DIYs who says, "Hi, Matt." We also have Michelle H. from Canada who says, "Pizza is the best for sure." I think that's because Robin right now is eating pizza if you're scoring at home, and I know you are. Also, we have Sammy Superstar who says, "Hey, everyone." And we have, I'm going to put this up real quick. Michelle says, "Well, I think I'm very easygoing because I will eat pizza with anything. I dislike olives, but I'm cool with just picking them off." Well, there you go. Because someone can dig it, and that person would be Mahas.
Hey,
Hey,
how are ya?
funny to see you here on a Friday evening.
I turned around and I was on the show. How'd that happen?
Well, okay, so a little bit of a programming advisory for some folk. We have a short porch with one of our co-hosts, so we're trying to make this as quickly as possible. We're moving this along, moving.
We're gonna jam in the awesome.
That's right, we're jamming in the awesome. So make your own joke and, tell us that in the comments, along with your questions. How are you doing, Matt?
Well, if you'd have asked me earlier today or any time this week, I'd have a different answer. But I'm doing great now, baby. How are you?
I'm doing great hearing that you're doing great.
Yeah. I had a small win today. I was pretty happy about it.
A small win ends up becoming a big win when it builds upon it. It just takes one, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds.
Yep.
So I guess you'd take it you're out of Catastrophe Canyon then.
I am, because it was one of those, good news, bad news things all week where I was sort of left to my own devices at my full-time job because, people are off on vacations and whatnot, and had an impossible task, had to get something done by Monday. Or if not, then we had to go to Plan B, and Plan B was all a big mess. And I was working, meetings every day with the proper team, not getting anywhere. And today, everything fell together. Everyone is so happy. Everyone's loving Matt Haas. They're doing backflips. It's all good. So I was like, I'm really digging it. And I learned I did not blow something up. Something got blown up, and it was not my fault. I thought it might have been my fault, but it turned out not to be my fault. So I was like, yeah. When I say blow something up, that's figurative. There was 3 fields, all went empty across every single Jira ticket.
Oh, no, not Jira. Not our friends at Altassin. Altassin. What the? Really?
Atlassian, yeah.
Altassian. I always mispronounce it.
Yeah. So, it very well could have been my fault because I was doing something around that time that could have done it, but it turned out it wasn't me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's single ding. There you go.
Yep. There we go. How are you, my friend?
If we're going to talk about today, I think the best sort of sound effect would be this. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So, as you guys know, I've been working out, and I've been taking this sort of time at the gym, and I'm doing a lot more, and boot camp and spin class and weight training. Well, an old friend came back. And that old friend is breaking bikes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so if you notice on the left pedal, the strap is completely broken. And not a problem for me because I have spin shoes. I was secured right into the pedal, no problem. Wasn't a problem for me. Unfortunately, it was a bit dramatic for everybody else. Oh my God, is everybody okay? You okay? You okay? I'm fine. I have spin shoes. I'm on the pedal. But I ended up hopping off that bike, and within 20 seconds, took the bike that was right next to it and continued to class without missing a beat.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. Like a boss.
I can dig it.
I then proceeded to get 6 shots of espresso in my iced Americano and was ready for boot camp. And I did boot camp, and then I went back for another 6-shot Americano. So I was hyped on caffeine all day.
It's not often in life when you're doing something, tragedy happens, and 20 seconds later, it's like nothing happened.
Not the first time this has happened. This was back in 2011. I was in a spin class back in Connecticut, and I was going at it. I was going at it hard. And again, I didn't have spin shoes back then, and the pedal fell right off, and I started bleeding. So it could always be worse, but at least this time around, there was very much intrigue and concern by the instructor, but nobody was bleeding. I was quickly able to pick up, move on to another bike, and go harder than I was going before. It was actually quite good.
I'm told that the level of accident's not that bad because the metal shards will stop at the bone.
That's a good point. The metal shards will stop at the bone.
Yeah, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a flesh wound. It's a flesh wound.
'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, do you have any big plans for this weekend?
Going dancing.
Dancing.
I'm going dancing. Yeah, like going to the club. I will be doing 2 activities that are blacklisted on your life's plan. But
Let me guess. And if anyone wants to take a stab at this, go ahead and let us know in the comments. Drinking?
ding.
Okay. And midget wrestling.
You are good.
Oh my God. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a car. Give me the car.
Yeah. Now, a friend of mine is in a band, and he has about 2 gigs a month, and every now and then he goes to a venue that I like, and that's happening today.
Jamie's joining us from YouTube. She says, "Hello, watching from work. What's up, everyone?" She guessed gambling and drinking, and laughs at midget wrestling. I think, Matt, you need to incorporate midget wrestling into tonight's festivities. If you could find a way to make it work. Yeah.
Hey, man, I should call up my little buddy. I have
Who is a
some,
midget wrestler? Little buddy.
stature friends. For sure.
I mean, is there any place around here that is well advertised? Any place around here where you can watch midget wrestling?
Well,
Asking for a friend.
I was going to get a hold of the one group because their website was kind of all janky, and I was like, guys, you need a better website. Let me what do I got to do to get in on this?
How can I help you?
Because I don't know about you, but there's a lot of fun things to do in life, but certainly up at the top 100 of things is to watch midget wrestling.
It's a solid top 5. I think it's
yeah, it can be. It can be. I mean, there is nothing more entertaining than watching 2 grown men that are 3 foot tall beating the piss out of each other.
These are 2 very professional wrestlers who are not very tall, but are very flexible, very agile, and very entertaining.
Well, it's like you can't watch midget wrestling and just be lackadaisical. Like the crowd goes crazy. Like they go absolutely off the chain with it. And I love that energy. Because the one match which I have on video, I got the last 2 minutes, like the grand finale. Guy put there was a metal garbage can next to the ring. Like, what's gonna happen with that.
Sure.
So he takes it, he shoves it between the top 2 ropes, grabs the other wrestler, and slams his head into it.
Robert's asking, is that off the chain? Robert joining us on YouTube tonight.
It's off the chain, baby. So yeah, I had a good old time watching some of that. And I think last time I saw it was an event in 2018. And then there was an event, I think, in 2017. I don't know. It was so much fun.
Robert says groovy.
Yeah, baby. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I mean, between that and roller derby, come on. I mean, although to be honest, I would go with roller derby. Just saying.
Roller derby seems like a fun thing to participate in.
Go watch it too. It's very
You can
much,
watch it?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying.
I think I really need to give that a chance. I haven't had much roller derby in my life. That's probably something I need to correct.
We have friends in the live streaming community who are roller derby participants. Okay. Maybe they can provide a show for us on a Friday night at some point.
I would be interested. So if my schedule allows, I would. And I'd like to be there in person too.
I would like to be there in person too. Maybe live stream from the event. Make it a VF Talk special. Roller derby.
Maybe I'll like it. If I like it, I'll go to more. If I don't like it, at least I tried it. That's the way I attack everything in life. Give it a go.
Jamie says she roller skates, but no derby.
Roller skate's fun. I used to roller skate. I used to roller blade. I started out ice skating. That's how I got used to it. And, I've had a lot of fun. That's something you do in like grade school and middle school. At least me, that was really big. It's the roller skate. I mean, because what else are you going to do at that age? I mean, it's like you can't go to the bar.
Arcade. Lots of arcade. 9-foot Pac-Man, a lot of whack-a-mole.
You go to Scooperman for ice cream, and then you go to the roller rink and the arcade and the bowling alley.
And the bowling alley. Of course, the bowling alley.
That's adolescence right there.
Sure.
And then ride your bike around the neighborhood like a madman. Because do you know how in shape I was when I was younger? I was skinny as a rail because I was on that bike every day. Every day. What's the lowest body fat you can have and still like be alive? Like that must have been me, whatever that number was. Because man, I was
0.01%. I have no idea. And I should know that. I have no idea.
I think there is an insect in my office here.
Michelle is a fan of all things skating. And definitely likes ice rollerblading and hockey.
We did roll as I got older out of high school. We started rollerblading. We all had rollerblades, and we would go around the city and the town, and we would find different spots, and we would rollerblade. And my friends got good at it. They could go down steps backwards, which always scared the heck out of me. But they did it no problem. They're just like easy peasy. I could never get up the gumption to try that. Yeah.
Gumption.
Yeah, rollerblading's fun. It was at the time.
You know what else is fun?
I'm sure it still is, but
segue because we're pressed for time. The other thing that I can think of that's fun is Fogo.
Oh, meat.
Meat.
I'm a fan of the meat.
Lots of meat. Lots of exciting meat.
I'm pro meat.
Yeah, I mean,
Will Ivan be there?
Sure. Maybe. Sometimes more than not. He's usually there.
No, I guess we're technically going over lunch, right?
We are going over lunch.
Okay.
There's your beef rib.
When does lunch service stop? Do they shut the place down, or does it just go right into dinner?
On Sunday, it's continuous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because weren't we there on a Sunday? It got kind of empty. Like it emptied out. What
like
was the
3
deal with that?
3 or 4 o'clock, it's empty, and then it picks up again at 5.
Okay.
There's your beef rib. And then, of course, a favorite of many of the audience would be the cheese and honey. Cheese and honey, which,
That's sinful right there, man. I love that stuff.
Jamie's having memories and saying, Fogo. Yeah, Fogo for show.
Faux show. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, so Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, as we called it on Facebook, Fogo with Friends. Fogo with Friends. It's better than Words with Friends, if you ask me. I'd rather play Fogo with Friends. Jamie says, you already know how I feel about the cheese. Yes, very well aware. I may bring that picture just back up again because I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, my accomplishment as a father, I could say to my son at just about any age, I would say to him, "What do you say about cheese, Evan?" He says, cheese makes everything better. I'm like, I've done my job as a father.
Father of the year. Father of the year. What can you say? Father of the year.
Cheese makes everything better.
Cheese makes everything better.
What does cheese not make better? That's the question. Answer, nothing.
Well, unless you're lactose intolerant. Then
we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. No. That and gluten allergies, we don't talk about that either. No.
Not that we got a problem with it.
No problem whatsoever. No problem.
I mean, we'll talk about anything.
Yeah, anything and everything, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days, we have to try and reach the everything. Like, we literally have to talk about everything there is to talk about on a show.
Well, I'm not sure if you realize this, but I got a degree in mathematics and statistics. I mean, I know we can grow asymptotic to everything, but not touch everything. It's infinite.
It's goals, you know.
It is honestly, it's probably more of a finite collection, but a vast finite collection. But I think we grow asymptotic to everything, but not everything.
Gotcha.
Do I write a proof and do I put QED at the end of it?
It's all you, brother.
Callie joining us on YouTube, who says, when I was a kid, I became lactose intolerant literally from eating too much cheese and chocolate. I am lucky that I actually grew out of it. Grew into it, then grew out of it.
In and out, in and out.
In and out, in and out. Yes. As I screwed up that, because I'm trying to read off of two minors. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Good to see you, Callie.
Good to see you, Callie.
Hi.
It's great to see you. Any fun is there any beach time going on right now?
Oh, because that's what she was doing earlier.
Yeah. Callie says, it used to make me throw up everywhere. There you go.
That would be sad if cheese would do that to me, because I do like cheese.
I do like cheese too. And we have a special guest. Hang on one second. It is
Robert Lee.
How you guys doing?
You can call me Rob.
Plus, I didn't know the song with You Can Call Me Al, but that would confuse folks. But you do what you can.
Yeah. Very colorful background, sir.
Thanks. Just been experimenting with the green screen room and finally straightened out the office this past week. So, because I had some comments how it kind of looked like a baggage terminal, so they gave me the wake up call to do some adjusting in the other room. But how's everybody doing?
Doing well, but Callie is not on the beach. She's working, so yeah.
How's business, Robert? You pulling lots of clients, getting a lot of work done?
Well, it's one of those things where like it's like in fishing where you're starting to reel them in, and all of a sudden they just kind of like drop bait and they just take off. So it's a lot of just trying to hang in there with what we're going after. But in the meantime, while we're doing that, we've been doing other things like updating the website and making some adjustments on offerings, stuff like that. So help us to be in better position. But it's always an ongoing battle. And
Austin joining us on YouTube. Sorry, he typed in capital letters. I had to bring it up there. He said, "Woohoo! Finally, I'm here." But his body's in so much pain. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Rob, talk about what's going on.
Well, I was actually going to ask you the same question. What's going on with you guys?
I'm getting ready to go to a club and behave badly, and then I'm going to a steak dinner on Sunday. And
yes.
Who knows what trouble I'm going to get into on Saturday? I'm available. Oh, I got a tentative plans to go see Megadeth coming up here later.
Megadeth.
Yeah. Someone apparently, now I haven't confirmed this yet, is in tight with the band, has been like seeing the band for 20 years, and they get free passes. And he's like, I can hook you up. He says, we're in the pit. I'm like, the pit's an $800 seat. He says, yeah, we got backstage passes. I'm like, dude, sign me up.
Dude.
I'm gonna see Dave Mustaine. Now, if it happens, I don't know if it happens, and I don't know if what I said is true, but
Right.
that's what I presume is the case. So I will keep you posted. Anyway, so that might happen later.
Austin's business law professor is Matt Haas's stunt double, apparently.
I do a lot of my own stunts, but there's some things I just won't do.
Hang on a second. There we go. That's better.
Oh,
And you're not Paul
there.
Burke. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
is-
I'm not sure if I can imitate him.
Is that Gene
I'm still
Simmons in the
working on those.
background? You got Gene Simmons growing out of your head.
Yep, right there. Wait.
Do you party every day?
When I can.
When you're a rock star, the word "every" has 3 syllables. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Every
as long
day.
as- depending on what dialect you have.
I have the Simmons dialect.
Austin says his name is Mike Hess, and he looks suspiciously like Matt.
Oh God.
Mike Hess. Matt Haas. Matt Haas. Wow.
Yeah.
Many derivatives.
Oh well, hey, there's a lot of Haas's out there. There's a lot of Hesses out there. There's a lot of. Got to be careful.
Yeah, always. Gotta be careful. Especially with a business law professor. You never know. Yeah.
I feel like they should play like the Law and Order theme whenever they mention
Dun,
that.
dun.
Dun, dun.
And then you get berated by Sam Waterston. It's great.
Right.
It's good times.
Oh,
But Yonner.
I might go to Home Depot on Saturday.
Hmm.
I'm gonna buy some plumbing supplies.
If I'm not bailing you out of jail.
Right,
Right.
right. If I make bail, then I'm gonna be doing a construction project on Saturday, and Fogo on Sunday.
Speaking of construction, last week they started building the garage, which it only happened like 2 years ago when the tree hit during the pandemic. I mean, jeez. Right now they've built the sides, and I think they haven't started on the roof yet, but it's progress. I would have thrown photos up, but then it would just look kind of grainy.
I'm glad that's moving forward, Robert. You've been dealing with that a long time.
Yeah,
Rich joining us on YouTube. It says, hey guys.
Hey, Rich.
Rich Vibes.
Host of Sunday Night Live. Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific.
I was thinking of Rich the other day. I saw a memory come up on my phone where I was dancing to Daft Punk at the Spun Club, and I was like, yeah, my buddy Rich, he spins that tune for me when I ask him nicely.
Austin has a very touching thing to say about you, Matt, by the way. Austin says, by the way, I'd rather have Matt as my business law professor. He doesn't even have to know anything about business or laws. He just has to be exciting and not extremely monotone.
Brother, I can hook you up with that requirement. And I pretend to know a lot about laws, so that could come in handy.
And you actually reply to his emails, as he says in capital letters.
Yeah, I try.
Programming note about Sunday Night Live. There will be no Sunday Night Live this weekend. Hope everything's okay, Rich.
Okay, well, we will replace Sunday Night Live with Sunday Night Meat.
Sunday Night Meat. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Now, is it the ribeye or the porterhouse you're gonna go after, Matt, or
The cheese.
Filet,
The cheese.
and
It's always the cheese.
prime rib.
I mean,
sirloin.
as everybody knows, and the faithful of the show, it's really not that one, this one, not that one. Man, what the hell's wrong with me? It's the beef rib. There it is, beef rib.
Oh, okay, nice.
Bring it. Hey, listen, folks. I have to turn into a pumpkin.
You turn into a pumpkin.
I gotta put my dancing shoes on. And
Oh, I don't have any. Oh, you know, I do. Wait a second. All right, so you know what that means? You gotta put your dancing shoes because.
you gotta blow me up.
No, I'm
Blow
not
me
gonna
up.
play. No, I'm gonna roll some credits. Take care, Matt. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone. I will bring bail money. Don't worry about me.
Awesome.
Robert, always good hanging with you, brother.
I was good to see you, Matt.
Hey, tell Josh I said hello. I think that cat.
I will do
he's
that.
a cool cat. I like him.
All right.
There he goes. I should probably end this song. Here we go. There we go. That's good. I should probably move you over to here, and I got all these adjustments, and right. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. That's better.
All right.
Everybody's
I can dig
saying
it.
bye to Matt. Jamie says bye, Matt. Michelle says bye, Matt. So how you doing, Rob? Outside of a garage being built?
Well, just a lot of adjustments. I also like do some part-time work filming over Harvard filming classes. So it was, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks ago we started retraining, and I haven't been in the facility for 2 years, so it was a little bit of a shock just for the fact that, well, one, it was that long, but also just a matter of just kind of getting used to like seeing a lot of people there. So it was just what normally would be just like a mundane day. It was just rather strange and surreal, but just a matter of just adjusting to that. So
Well,
lot of like
getting back to normal.
going on there.
It's
Yeah.
back to normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels a little bit off just for the fact that there's always still like different warnings and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's just kind of rolling with the punches and stuff. How about you?
Jamie's gonna be running a Spartan race in Vermont on Sunday, so she won't be making Sunday Night Live. But there is no Sunday Night Live this week. But good luck in the Spartan Vermont on Sunday, Jamie. We're rooting for you big time.
Like Jamie?
As far as me, I don't. I have some work to do. I have some training to do. I have an appointment Saturday afternoon. I have spin class Saturday morning. I have a 5-mile run on Saturday. I have a 20-mile run Sunday morning before Fogo.
Wow.
So we get closer and closer to the Portland Marathon on October 2nd, which is 23 days away.
Wow. How you feeling?
Scared. Scared. I'm breaking bikes. I'm having way too much caffeine. And now I'm becoming irritable. So it's now 12 shots of caffeine makes John angry. Go into full beast mode. Like almost like you have to play the Incredible Hulk walking away music with me. It's bad. Bad.
Yeah.
I'm hanging in there.
I thought you were gonna break into like an irritable bowel syndrome commercial there, so I was waiting for you to read like the disclaimer and stuff.
I could. Do I could. No.
But glad we didn't go there. But that's cool. You're just keeping up and everything like that.
Yeah, I just this is the first marathon I'm ever running. So, first intentional marathon. There was the unintentional marathon I ran 2.5 weeks ago in the Chester Valley Trail. This is the first real marathon I'm running. So, I'm nervous. I just want to finish. Then people are saying, "Oh, you could probably do this in 6 hours or 5.5 hours." My point is, I just want to finish the darn thing.
Right.
Austin has a comment about you, by the way, Rob. Rob, he says, Rob reminds me of that one actor who's been in a lot of Marvel movies, that one guy that is an agent in Ant-Man. Whoa, is that his name? Is that racist? I'm saying, God, I hope not. Nothing meant.
Oh, I think he was talking to the actor Randall Park that's in Ant-Man and
Yeah.
and WandaVision and everything. So
Austin
pretty cool.
replying to Jamie says, I definitely like working up front more than in the back. I prefer to have a human interaction. I think we all do. I think after 2.5 years of being remiss from some sort of normalcy, it's to get back into it for sure.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if I say a head scratcher, but just sometimes it's just a matter of just shaking off the surreal feeling, just kind of like moving on and stuff. So
Business travel starting to pick up for me again. Got a couple business trips coming up in the next couple weeks before I head off to Portland for a week and a half for the marathon. But yeah, getting back to normalcy, which is exciting. But it means time to be putting suit and tie back on, get in professional mode, and do demos and proof of concepts and requests for information, requests for proposal, all that fun stuff.
yeah, I think that was the other adjustment too, just getting used to wearing any form of pants or long-legged attire.
I like prison clothes, by the way, because Jamie says Austin was in bunk bed prison for so long, he loves the interaction.
So he's wearing like the hazard-colored pants and stuff like that,
Orange with stripes, yeah, usually.
like a creamsicle.
Creamsicle, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Austin says he is a car side specialist up front, but next week he'll be trained for host. I've been there 3 months and been trained on Fry, General Utility Dish, car side expo, and now host. And now Austin is back in bunk prison again, because he can't escape a life of crime.
Gotcha.
Work release, he says. It's work release.
Ah.
It's amazing. We always have an Austin on this show. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Bowling Austin. Then we have regular Austin, who's semi-regular. And we have very interesting stories across our Austins. One's a bowler. One's in bunk bed prison. Jamie says you gotta love the prison work programs because she says one day you'll be running the place soon. The prison or Applebee's? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, gotta watch out for the riblets, just because they can leave a mark on your fingers.
That's right. Austin, what's your take on the riblets?
I'll probably we hear some dial tones where they're just ready to go for a pickup order or something like that.
Austin tries to be regular, but he's been working so much. Well, Keopectate maybe. Milk of magnesia.
I let you take that one.
Yeah. Austin's yelling, "The riblets are microwaved," and Jamie's reminding us that there is truly an Applebee's inside the prison because you're eating good in the neighborhood and eating good in the prison and in the yard.
See, I thought McRibs are microwave. So is also the riblets too? Man, I don't know. It can't be worse than having a burnt bag of popcorn in a microwave. So
Jamie's informing us that rib bones can make good shanks. Good shanks, good shivs, based on a riblet. In the next hour, what can you do with the fried chicken? Let us know. Oh, man.
You mean with the bone or the skin or the?
No, definitely with the bone. It's got to be with the bone for sure.
Oh, the bone. Well, mostly I just see people make just a drumstick, hence the name drumstick. That's all I got.
Austin says riblets get microwaved then put on a grill to give it grill marks. So there's the false, advertising there. Rich says, just don't go to the Friday nights at the Applebee's in the prison because,
They have yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's then you end up dancing and then watching midget wrestling. It's exciting times. I'm mixing stories up, aren't I?
Or that you just do Uber Eats and just bypass all that.
But you can't get the wrestling with Uber Eats, can you?
Save your energy for another day, I guess.
Rich is reminding us it's ladies' night on Friday nights at Applebee's because you're eating good in the neighborhood. Austin says, if you're going to get something at Applebee's, Sammy and I agree you should get the quesadilla burger. It's a Sammy and I hot pick.
Sammy Sosa?
No, right. Orange is the new Applebee's with no ladies. Shameless plug and not a sponsor, by the way. Austin saying we're having a promotion for all you can eat boneless wings for $12.99.
See, I thought the price of wings have gone up because of I don't know if it's a supply chain thing or just the lack of quality wings or something like that.
Rob, it's made out of people.
Where's Charlton Heston when you need him?
That's right. It's made out of people.
Oh my God!
Hot damn! Applebee's is made out of people.
See, but you gotta have to have an ascot on while you're saying that. So.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think that's what he was wearing. I don't know.
Austin, I'm not gonna bring up the comment because it's profane, but he says it's not a shameless plug. He freaking hates all you can eat. They're the worst.
Well, it depends where you go and what they're serving. See, now all you can eat seafood, that's, you're taking your life in your hands, dealing with anything on the mollusk or the crustacean side. But you know,
Yeah.
I guess it's a Brett's turn, or maybe Charles Nelson Riley's.
That's good. That's it. No. It's you go to her all you can eat seafood, and you usually have that sort of reaction. And then if it ends up being really bad, then it's yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what the stomachs would do.
That's
I
right.
think dairy and seafood's you gotta watch out for, unless it's like the ice cream stuff, which is not bad because the refrigerations are decent, especially if they're doing the soft cones.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
That's all I got. I got dings. I got buzzers. I got them all.
Nice.
Austin says it's a nightmare for the servers, but it's worse for the cooks.
I guess it would depend on what time of day.
Yeah. What time you think? What time you think would be the worst?
Let's see. Well, actually, mornings should be alright because that's when the food comes hot and fresh. I think it's like that lull hour, between the 3 to 4 hour, where just like either food could be sitting there or they haven't got the fresh food ready. So that'd be my hot take.
Rich says it's even worse for the buffalo. It's a match.
Have you ever had like a buffalo meat, like have like a buffalo burger?
Yeah, I like buffalo burger. I like buffalo burgers. I like bison burgers. Oh my god, bison's great. Love it.
I can't remember if it was either lean for me or the one I had was like a little bit gamey, but beyond that, it's good.
Michelle says, I'm the mayor of Migraine Town today. I got a jet. Just wanted to drop by and say hello. Have a great weekend, everyone, with the Canadian flag and the sunglasses. Michelle, feel better.
Hope you feel better, Michelle.
Austin reminding us it doesn't depend on the time of day. It's always terrible because you never know if they're going to order more. You never know if they're going to order more.
Well, then again, you gotta watch out for where you go and what the reputation is, because like if they're the kind of restaurant where they have like a surplus of food, they're always eager to heap on more just to get it out there, just so like they can bring in a fresh inventory to restock or something.
Austin has to go back to his prison bunk bed now to do some schoolwork. Have a good one, boys and girls. Good luck tonight. Stay out of trouble. Otherwise, you'll be put in the hole for 30 days, and then you don't even get your work released. So behave and take good care of yourself, Austin. Stay safe.
I'll defer to JV as he knows this situation better than I.
Yeah, well, you can only listen to Dan Abrams so much to think that Austin needs to make sure he's staying out of trouble.
So, out of curiosity, like how often have folks used the join us on Ecamm link there?
You. And then people would want me to copy and paste that into the chat, and we have rules, Rob. We don't do that. It's up there. I can make it bigger if you want, but I'm not going to put it in the comments. You can see it. It's up there. It's 8 Charlie Echo 46 Foxtrot 8 Delta.
Yeah, that's why I wear these, just because I can't read it without them. I'd be like, my eyes.
It's not 4-point font, Rob. It's sizable. You can see it. It's right there. Rich says in prison he's always in the hole. LMAO.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm leaving that one alone.
Yeah, Rich. Well done. You know what? I'll tell you what. There you go. You get the point for that.
Oh, speaking of game shows, have you watched the new Password?
I am pleasantly surprised, although I think it's really does Fallon have to play every single game? I mean, really?
I was waiting for that. I think he's one of the producers, and I get the sense that he loves to play it, so I can see why. But unless they have a problem with the casting, so
No, anybody will do that. It's a New York-based show, so they're going to do whatever they're going to do. But I think the funny thing about Fallon is he is definitely a lover of the show. It's always been a bit on late night and then the Tonight Show, and he knows the genre real well. He knows the game real well, and I'm going to be really geeky for the next 45 seconds. But they actually play Alphabetics. That's the bonus. They play Alphabetics as a bonus round.
Yeah. But I noticed like they kind of combine like different elements of each iteration of Password, where like they do the
Super Password's a tiebreaker. The Password Plus puzzle is the tiebreaker. Love that.
Exactly. I was hoping like when the early iteration of Password, they would do like the bonus round where they just whoever wins that round, they do like the 5 questions. But figure $50 back then, which was more now it's like they would have to adjust it. But it's just kind of interesting to see them how
lightning round. They play a lightning round.
Yeah,
60-second lightning round.
Yeah.
I do like the Alphabetics concept. I was a fan of Alphabetics on Password Plus. I also like the fact that on Password Plus, if a celebrity gave an illegal clue, you could still win the grand prize minus 20% of it. So if you're playing for 5,000, then it becomes for 4,000, 3,000. On Super Password, if a celebrity gave an illegal clue, you don't go for the grand prize, But then they also had a revolving jackpot as well on that one.
Yeah, they seem to play a little loose with that rules either, like in the early rounds, and I think in the bonus round, which when I had to like watch some of the early episodes, I think Alan Ludden was a little bit loose with the about whether if you use like a rhyming clue as illegal or not. But then again, if Betty White was playing, he'd offer a lot of leeway unless he decides to give her a run for her money.
I think NBC and Standards and Practices, they had a good conversation with Goods and Todman and said, can you make this game a little tougher? Because, you're playing for more money than you did on the ABC Password or the CBS Password and whatnot. So they started putting in, you can't do the opposites on Password Plus, which funny enough, you could do opposites on Super Password, which was really strange. They had the pass play changed in the beginning, and they made the order of rotation normal by the time we got to the end of season 1 of Password Plus. And then when Alan died and Tom Kennedy was hosting it, they moved to a progressive jackpot. But then the game it was $500 to win. It was 100, right. 100, 200, 200, 200, which could take forever. Not like Super Password, it was 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 wins the game.
Did they do that with Bert Convy with that?
Yeah. In fact, at the end of the $200 puzzle, there's cash word. Whoever wins the $200 puzzle gets to play a bonus word, 3 clues for a cash word. With no value to the score of the game. You're playing for just a bonus prize.
Yeah, I think it's not on. I don't know if I have like what? I can't remember the name of the game show channel, not the game show network, but
Buzzer.
Buzzer. Yeah, that's Buzzer. And I'm surprised like YouTube, like Password has their own YouTube channel, so you can watch like some of the earlier stuff, which is pretty cool. Definitely a good way to pass the time, especially to see how the game was played.
Rich is saying, I'm guessing this is a show in the U.S. Yeah, they had Password in the UK, but it didn't have as long a run as it's had in the United States. I mean, Password's been on for years and decades and whatnot. Premiered in 1962. That's how far back Password goes.
But I think it was like To Tell the Truth. That was also in the UK as well, I think. Or was that?
To Tell the Truth started in the States, Goods and Todman, but then there was definitely a UK element for To Tell the Truth. And What's My Line was a Goods and Todman that started in the States as well.
Yeah.
And I've Got a Secret, same thing. So that basically pulls off all the panel shows of the Goods and Todman.
Yeah. Although I'm glad they're starting to like ease in those games now, but I guess it's some of them are a little bit harder to make for the modern time, just for the fact that I forget if it was like they had interviewed Betty White or someone, but they mentioned that just because like the command of the English language is a lot different now than it was then. Some of those games that worked well in the past may not translate well now, which is kind of a shame. But I don't know if she was alluding to anything further than that, but I could see your point.
Yeah, I think, with respect to password, it requires some somewhat tight judging, because the English language can be, I wouldn't say bastardized, but basically contorted out of proper or traditional context for conveying a clue. And it really requires the judging. Now, I'll tell you, I know the judges on Pyramid, and they've gone from somewhat easy to strict because I think ABC told them, hey, you gotta watch it a bit. But it's all dependent on standards and practices, budget, and all that. And it's like, if you think about it, are they violating any sort of major, as long as it doesn't change the gameplay, as long as someone's not being cheated out of anything, well, they could bend rules on one episode versus the next, because as far as I know, there won't be a tournament of champions for Password. And I don't think they're going to be doing $1 million pyramid anytime soon for all of the $150,000 winners. So,
right. It's every time I see them get into the winner's circle, the answers they give is a lot more general than it was precise, like in the past. Like if they just which kind of threw me off when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, but.
Well, I the prepositional phrases, I know they're very, very good about. I mean, if they hear a prepositional phrase, it's done. It's done. The exception to that, though, so here's the trick. If it's things so and so might say, well, you're quoting someone, so you can say a prepositional phrase in the quote, and that's perfectly fine. But if it's in just listing a series of things and you put a prepositional phrase, nope.
But Pyramid, you could say a hyphenated word, but password you can't.
Yeah, because in password it's one-worded clues. In Pyramid, you can just keep on riling off things and sentences, as long as you're not basically conveying the essence of the subject. So the main game is single word subjects, single phrase subjects, and then in the bonus, in the winner circle, it's generalized subjects that you're listing things for. So it's basically the reverse of the main game.
Yeah. I'll still find it funny whenever you see in the winner circle, like they're sitting on their hands because they know they can't use any gestures and such.
Right. If you
as opposed
genuflect or show any sort of physical sort of conveying of that, then it's buzzed out. The exception to that, I'm really a geek. I swear to God, I'm really a geek. But the difference is when they had blind contestants on $25,000 and $100,000 pyramid, they did that short period of time where they had special theme episodes where they had, they brought in blind contestants and they did a one-off. And on that, you can use your hands or whatnot because, certainly they can't see that. And they can.
But with password, I'm seeing like if they try not to use like by gestures, if you're a good comedian that can do impersonations, it helps with the clue, which I find it interesting as to who can use that to their advantage. But yeah, it's almost like watching a sporting event as to whether if they engage in any or not.
I'm so happy that parlor games and game shows have made such a resurgence in the last 5-6 years, pre-pandemic, right? So you think about when ABC said, you know what, we're going to bring back Match Game, we're going to bring back Press Your Luck, we're going to bring back Card Sharks was the only one that dropped off, and it's a shame because Joel McHale really tried hard on that one. But
okay.
These are things I can watch and pass time. And the thing is, people gravitate to those. They can play along with it, right?
I mean, for me, I always enjoy just seeing how the host interacts with the contestants, just to see if there's any banter going on, which Gene Rayburn did pretty well in that game.
Rayburn was amazing. Jamie loves Press Your Luck. I gotta say, Elizabeth Banks has done that show justice and then some. I mean, no one can ever top Peter Tamarkin, God rest his soul, but Elizabeth Banks did an incredible, or is doing an incredible job with the show, and definitely a work to be very proud of for sure.
Yeah. Although I thought it was an interesting choice when they used Alec Baldwin as the host for Match Game. I could see some of the characteristics, but I feel it's more like Hollywood connection than his gamesmanship or just command of the hosting duties and such.
You know who would be a great host for Password? If we're not going with a traditional game show host. Although the funny thing is the funny thing is the name I'm about to give. The name that I'm about to give actually did host a game show for a very short period of time. But if we were going to so Match Game has been canceled, by the way. Not sure if you realize that. But if ABC or whoever brings back Match Game, I would vote for Kevin Pollak. Without question, I would want Kevin Pollak to host it.
Yeah, I can see it. He has a little bit of a throwback attitude in his humor and just his where he is in terms of the celebrity spectrum. He retains enough of knowledge, or at least connections to some of the earlier celebs to now. So I can see that.
For those that are at home trying to figure out what the heck did Kevin Pollak hosted, 2 shows off the top of my mind. I could be wrong, but he hosted the first season of Celebrity Poker Showdown on Bravo. And then he was also the host of the 8-episode series of the $1 Million Drop on Fox. Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank.
Was he? I think at one point when MTV were doing game shows, I think he was like the host of Remote Control.
No, that's Ken Ober. The late, great Ken Ober. Ken Ober is no longer with us. Ken Ober died a dozen years ago now. Man, the time's flying. But Ken Ober.
I thought he did after Ober. Wasn't it like
nope.
They did like a remake?
No, it was Ken Ober and Colin Quinn. There was the season that Colin Quinn stepped in when Ober wasn't available, and Kevin Pollak I don't think hosted Remote Control. Now, if someone has proof and wants to let me know in the comments, please let me know. But I don't think Kevin Pollak hosted it.
Did I ever tell you I tried out for Remote Control?
You did. You didn't. You did? Question mark. Sorry.
I did try. When I was at the University of Rochester, they were actually looking for like students to be contestant, and so you had to like answer like a multiple choice like the first round. The second part was like kind of like a talent thing, so you had to go up on stage and just kind of show your personality. So when it came time for me to go up there, I just kind of treated like as if I was like a MC or a talk show host, and I was just kind of like just kibitzing and at one point I just kind of like ran out of this material. I just motioned over to the guy. I said, "How much time do I have?" I said, "Well, you have 30 seconds." I said, "Well, all right." I said, "Does anyone know the commercial TJ Maxx?" So like the last 30 seconds I was singing that commercial jingle of that. Somehow I made it past that round. And then when it came to the trial rounds, I was a little bit slow with the buzzer, and I think I was picking too much of the hard questions. So
well, I think everybody knows if you're forced to sing the TJ Maxx theme of the late 80s, you're gonna have a little bit of fatigue when it comes time for the hard and fast quiz.
Of course, this was like in the 90s, so it was still fresh in people's brain. But yeah, it was a little bit surreal, but at the same time, was just at that moment I was just having a lot of fun with it. But
Rich says they've brought back old game shows in the UK as well. They have a Saturday night show that brings back a different game show each week. Anton Dex had a game show marathon, if I remember correctly, Rich, if you can hold me true to that.
What was that one about?
So they have a format where they bring up a classic game show every week in the UK. But then you think about really good game show formats. The Chase was born in the UK. You think about Millionaire, that was born in the UK. It's like UK is a hotbed for really good game show formats. Countdown, which I think I'm surprised didn't take off over here. Countdown's a great game. It's a game, you could find, long words out of 9 random letters, and then you figure out a mathematical equation with 6 numbers. I love that show. I could watch that for hours.
Yes, I know like some of the shows on the Game Show Network, they were okay, but it didn't seem like it would catch on like those. Like I can't remember the name of this one, but it's like you pick a series of words and like each word builds upon the next word.
Chain
It's like
Reaction.
some sort of. Thank you, Chain Reaction.
Which
yeah.
was made off of a 1980 game hosted by Bill Cullen. Chain Reaction.
No, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. That and the other one, what was it? Oh, that's right, America Says or something like that.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, see, because like the categories they pick, it's okay, but the answers, it just seems a little bit more demographic specific. Like the answers you come up with, it just seems a little bit what? But yeah.
Jamie is a big fan of Chain Reaction. Yeah, Chain Reaction was very cool. I actually, so this is, again, geekdom for a second. I love the original bonus round of Chain Reaction. With the one clue, and you have the two celebrities giving it one clue, or basically asking a question one word at a time, and then hitting a bell, and then the contestant has to give a guess. Love that. And then they went to a bonus round that was more like the main game. I prefer that sort of alternating word questioning. I thought it was great. Right. It was also the concept that they used Bob Stewart, incredible game show genius, God rest his soul. They turned that into a game show by itself on NBC in 1983 called Go. And it was based on the bonus round of Chain Reaction, that alternating word construction. Rich says, looks like we have found JV's specialist round, game shows. Yeah, I'm a game show. I'm a game show nut. I'm a game show nut.
Although some like the early ones, like I haven't seen this in a while, but I remember like I forget what I was looking for when I was like speeding through like some VCR tapes. But have you ever seen like Sail the Century?
Oh, I love Sail. Oh, Sail the Century is fantastic. Love that show.
I'm trying to remember. Is the host, was it Jim Dial? Was the
Jim
host?
Perry? Jim Perry.
Jim Perry.
Yeah.
Dang. But it always cracks me up just because like the dollar value is so much. If you try to like translate it to the dollar values now, it just, I mean,
the dollar values are just a mechanism for the contestants to say, do I really want to risk and gamble my score to buy that wonderful prize and end up on the outside looking in at the end? And I love the show before they put too many gimmicks on that one. The winner's board was an okay idea. I was okay with the winner's board. Yeah. Maybe the shopping was too much and it revolved the contestant coming back and he's been here 7 days and he's won $410. And if he saves up another $110, he could buy the car. $250, he could buy all the prizes on the stage plus a cash check. Fine, I get it. They wanted to move it to something where they can get that big bang on every single episode. So they go to a winner's board. The winner's big money game, I do not understand why the heck they did that. I hate that. With the one word, one every second to figure out what exactly the clue is. It's like, no. You have that already in the Fame game. You have that sort of instant reaction. So I never understood the winner's big money game. Horrible.
Yeah. What was that other show I was thinking about?
By the way, best show that Jim Perry hosted, by the way, was the original Card Sharks.
That?
The original Card Sharks was Jim Perry.
That's right, yeah. That one was good.
And if Michelle was still here, she would know that Jim Perry was the host of Definition, which was a Canadian mainstay for game shows. So like, yeah, Jim Perry was an incredible host.
Now, how did that game go? I'm not familiar with that one.
Wacky definitions, and you can basically, it's a series of blanks. So there's the Wheel of Fortune element. You got to figure out what the clue is based on a pun. And then what you do is you can take a letter, or you can give your opponent a letter, and then when they get it wrong, then you could take a letter. And there's you use letter board, and as you're guessing letters, it's filling in the puzzle. And then if you figure out what the puzzle is and what the pun is, you get 1 point, and 3 points wins the game.
So it's almost like a loosely play like a hangman.
With really horrible puns. Yeah.
I can only imagine what puns they picked.
The theme song to Definition, by the way, was the theme to Austin Powers.
Really?
The dun-dun-dun-it, the dun-dun-dun-it, the dun-dun-dun-it. That was the theme to Definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they got something nice in the royalty check department, so.
They're going to flag me on my horrible rendition of that. Go for it. I mean, look, I've used a lot of the GT sound effects on this show. I mean, what's...
Well, it wasn't high pitched, so I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Because it was my... But if you did like the lull, like... You know.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly. Rich is a soul bossa nova. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly right, Rich.
I feel like there's. I feel like they should have some castanets ready for that though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a yeah. So needless to say, I'm a game show nut. I like the Enright shows like it was Jack Barry and Dan Enright, the Barry Enright shows like so Tic Tac Toe, Joker's Wild, Play the Percentages, Bullseye, love those two.
Because like I know like Joker as well. I knew like Letterman was like the host for that. I think that's the first time I saw him like on TV, and I'm like, man, this guy's different. So
Wait, Letterman hosted.
yeah, Joker as well.
Jack Barry hosted Joker's Wild.
Oh no, but I mean Letterman filled in as a host, like a guest host, like in some.
Yeah, and then there was Jim Peck as well. Jim Peck, a Milwaukee legend, filled in for that too. They had a lot of fill-in hosts for that show.
Yeah, it's because like it's funny because like when you get like someone that doesn't really know the game but just kind of like either wing it or just kind of like take it the Letterman, just take it the subversive route. It's a bit contrast just to see how that goes, but it's funny as hell to watch.
My favorite fill-in host was Jeff Edwards. I think Jeff Edwards was a great fill-in host, but then Jeff Edwards also had really good shows of his own. So you think of Jackpot, that's Jeff Edwards. You know, Jackpot was the game of the riddles, right? For $140, here's my riddle. Blah 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 blah. Right. So there's that. Jeff Edwards was an incredible. He hosted. He was a backup host for Let's Make a Deal, the '80s version. He was a backup host for Chain Reaction. So we were talking about Bill Cullen. So the original Chain Reaction was a backup host, and then he hosted the USA version of Chain Reaction. So like yeah. So I know how good of a backup host Jeff Edwards was for the Barry Enright shows. So
Now was Wink Martindale was like a backup host or more?
No,
like
Wink Martindale was host of Tic Tac Toe. That was his baby.
Because I thought he did some other shows after Tic Tac.
Yes, High Rollers.
Okay, that was it.
And Debt. He hosted Debt for Lifetime.
That?
Debt. 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 So it's a game show where what the contestants are playing for is to get rid of credit card debt.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. I kind of know my game shows. Yeah, Rich is right. That is my specialty.
Me, I just always look forward to the banter or the behind the scenes whenever I see that. What's a good one that they show? Well, I mean, if you go on YouTube, you can always catch like the good bloopers they have, but it's mostly like the mainstream ones, like um, Wheel of Fortune or or Price is Right.
Oh, great bloopers on The Price is Right. You talk about back to the Barker era. Oh my God, incredible blooper. Yeah, for some weird reason, Holly couldn't shut a fridge door. The fridge door was always open. Poor Holly was basically they did it on purpose on her. Holly Hallstrom was basically the butt of a lot of jokes when presenting prizes and whatnot, and it was fine. It was perfect.
Well, I think she had the temperament that she could roll with it. Where the other two was it?
Janice Pennington and Diane Parkinson.
That's it, Diane.
And then
Parkinson.
Kathleen Bradley eventually was the fourth model, or fourth.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. But now it's like it's interesting. Now, like now they use where before it was just only like you'd have like female models or God, I can't think of what the right term is for. But now that they're spokesperson.
Yeah, models. Spokes. I forget what the right word is for that. Darn it.
Yeah.
Hostess,
but
showman,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting now that they're like, it's just not gender specific, like for Price is Right. So it's like, it's a startling contrast where you watch it something earlier on the Bob Barker days to now like with Drew Carey.
Drew Carey's
It's
horrible.
totally different.
Drew Carey. I hate Drew Carey. I swear to I don't hate him, but he's definitely checked out a long time ago. It's like
Well, most of them, like the recent hosts, like they don't seem to have the command knowledge of the game, so it's almost like they're just kind of going by whatever is like thrown up on the cue cards. Where when you had someone like Rayburn or
Bob
London
Barker.
stuff. They know the game. Bob Barker. They know the game inside and out, so that they can go with the flow of the show. But for the kind of phone in there, it's like.
The reason why Barker got the Price gig in 1972 anyway was because he had such great audience participation and also knows the rules to the games. And I say that
Right.
because he used to host Truth or Consequences, Ralph Edwards' show before he hosted Price is Right. And yeah, it requires a lot of audience participation, but it also requires knowing the rules to the game. And the funny thing is, I'll give you a name that got some serious, just didn't get the respect that he should have, and it was only on for one season. But watching old clips of the Doug Davidson syndicated version of Price, like. That guy poured his heart out for a soap opera actress on Young and the Restless. He actually did a great job with that one season.
Right.
And it's funny because they changed a couple of the mechanisms of the show. They didn't have contestants row. They just brought the contestants down. They played a game. And then in the middle of the show, instead of spinning the big wheel, they played something called The Price Was Right. But then they ran out of clips, so they ended up bringing back the big wheel, whatever that was.
Right.
And then the showcase was the range game. So they brought the big giant range. You randomly select a range from 4,000 to 10,000, and you can get the price of tonight's showcase. Within the range, you win the showcase.
The range game.
Big fan. Big fan.
I can dig it.
Yeah. Had a cooler version of the theme, which was definitely, rockified for 1994, which, funny enough, the UK ended up using that for Bruce's Price is Right. Rich, you remember Bruce's Price is Right? Nice to see you nice. That was, they did a version of Price is Right out in the UK, which was hosted by Bruce Forsyth. Yeah.
Okay, that one you got me. Yeah, that one I didn't know. Okay.
No, if that put a smile on Rich's face, then that's all that matters. Rich just gives me a simple, yep. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. What's your favorite Price is Right pricing game? We're going to get really geeky now. What's your favorite pricing game?
Well, I mean, I can't get over the cliffhanger just because I always like to do the yodel, like.
I'll definitely get marked for that if I play it in the background, because I'll play the whole thing.
I know, that's why I just butcher it, because they'll just think it's like someone strangling a coyote or something. So
that would be a really good game. The Coyote Strangle game. That's fantastic. Oh, horrible, PETA. I'm sorry, PETA. I was joking. Horrible.
But I forget which game it is. But it seems like there's different variations where when you guess the price of like a car or the big ticket items, like you'd have to like each number of the price. See, I can only think of the car one, but I know there's other
Any number.
variations.
So you got the three prizes in the piggy bank, and you got to fill in the price of the car first, and you win the car. You fill in the middle prize, and you win the middle prize. You fill in the piggy bank, then you're walking away with less than $10.
Right. And then for comic relief, sometimes I like to see them play the putt-putt game.
Hole in one or two.
I'm always hoping like they just get it all wrong, just because I like to see them try to get a long shot and then just try to sink it, just for the sheer thrill of just the audience going ah.
But don't worry, there's always that inspirational putt that Bob or Drew makes before they have to go ahead and or eventually when they miss the second one. Oh man, not even close. Not even close.
So, with your question, like which of the games that you like within The Price is Right, at any era, I'll throw it out there.
I'm grinning like 6-year-old Johnny because I love this question. I love this question. My favorite pricing game, old, retired. I don't know why I was retired. Would be Super Ball. I miss Super Ball because if you could combine skee ball with a pricing game, I'm all in. And to watch some of these people just flick the ball up the alley and miss, and Bob having a conniption, it's like you have to roll it up the. They'll spend 14 minutes. I'm sure they edited it down. He didn't like editing it down, but there was one time he had to. And like you roll the ball up the ramp. Super Bowl was the best. And that very rare time they can get a contestant to get all three right, get the ball in the win circle all three times, get the Super Bowl, and get the ball in the Super Bowl, or in the win circle for the Super Bowl. It happened twice in the 50 or 100 times they played the game. To see them give away all three prizes and a $3,000 bonus, that was the best. It was like, that's... Because it's skee ball. It's skee ball.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that one. I'll have to look it up because I vaguely remember that. I mean, anytime I hear like ball drop, well, it's not ball, but I keep thinking of
Plinko.
But that's But I remember like I forget, in high school we had to make like a homemade version of it's almost like a pachinko, but you had to use ping pong balls, but you can't help but just try to design it like you would like Plinko with the nails, and just try to like fall down into like a bucket and stuff.
I apologize on behalf of the audience. I'm getting really geeky for the next 25 seconds. There, as if I haven't been up to this moment. But the Pachinko version of Plinko is actually used on one of the Goodson Todman lottery games. It was used on Flamingo Fortune. It was used on New York Wired. It was used on Illinois Instant Riches. And basically, it's Plinko, but done Pachinko style with the ping pong ball dropping down. And they played it every single show because everybody loves that. And, of course, they're attaching a lottery game to it. So you're playing for tens of thousands of dollars, and it's crazy. But so the Pachinko concept of Plinko was actually used by the Goodson Todman lottery shows and Flamingo Fortune, Illinois Instant Riches, and New York Wired, etc. Called Double Dollars. The name of the game they called it was Double Dollars, because every time you got the ball in the slot, you doubled what you were playing for. Well, no. Gotcha. When you're at risk, you were doubling what you're playing for. In the beginning, it was $5,000 a slot. And then if you're 2 strikes, then you're playing for every time you get in one of the empty slots, it's another, you could double your money. But if you get the 3rd strike, you lose, I think, either half or something like that.
Now, is it like you'd have to guess like a product price right to get like a...
No, there's no guessing at all. It's a lottery game show. It's basically just shoot the Pachinko machine and the ball will start dropping, and every empty slot you fill, you win, and you fill a hole. You fill in a slot that has a ball in it already. That's a strike. And if you get 3 strikes, you're out of the game, or you could stop at any time without risk. And it doesn't become an issue until you get the 2 strikes, and then that's when the double dollars start playing into play and getting into the game.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm a geek. I told you, I'm a geek. I am a geek.
Well, hey, anytime you can mention Goodman and Todson more than once, I'm all for. Something I haven't heard in a while. So.
Barry Enright, Goodson Todman, yeah, you name it. Sure. I am a student of the genre and then some. It's funny because last week, Paul and Matt and I had a conversation about a concept that I could do. And it's like, oh, you should do a game show. But there's so many great concepts already. I'm probably going to be ripping off one of the Goodson Todman or Barry Enright concepts anyway, or trying to make a revival out of it because it's solid and they still hold up to this day. Watch Buzzer, watch Game Show Network. You could see how these formats have staying power.
So if all things being equal, like what format or what type of concept were you noodling around?
I have 3 in mind.
Okay.
Right.
Let's hear it.
So the first concept I had in mind was a play on Russian roulette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the game that was hosted by Mark L. Wahlberg, basically it's a trivia game, and there's a moving revolver, and if the thing lands on your zone, you drop through a trapdoor. Cute game. It's not to get confused with the the guy who hosted Cash Cab did a revival of that. I'm Still Standing for NBC or something like that, or Still Standing. It was horrible. Russian Roulette's a really great game. If they should bring back Russian Roulette, and if we can get Markel Wahlberg to host it, even better, because he's incredible. Facebook friends with him too. Should ask him, Mark, you want to do that? I mean, he used to do Antiques Roadshow for the longest time, and I don't think he's much of the on-air personality for that anymore. But anyhow, that's another story for another day. So yeah, Russian Roulette would be one of them. I think about all those GSN Game Show Network concepts of 2002 to 2004, and there were some solid ones. Another one I think of is something hosted by Graham Elwood called Cram. I thought that was a fantastic game, where basically the contestants stay up for 24 hours, and then they play a trivia quiz while they're on a treadmill or something to stay up. And then if they win the game, then they have to do some sort of physical ability. So what happens is the winners get to lay down in a bed while they have someone talk very, almost like ASMR, in a very monotone voice. And they could start revealing facts that they did not study the night before. And they pick up on all of that over a 5 to 10 minute period. And then someone plays a trumpet very loud, and they have to hold their balance and stuff and try to answer questions. And if they can get 5 consecutive right, they win $10,000. Love that show. Love that show. It was great. Graham Elwood did a fantastic job with that show.
So that was the second one. So what was the third idea?
The third idea was something that we actually talked about earlier.
Okay.
Because they tried bringing it back, and they did a piss poor job of it. They brought it back as Temptation, and it was horrible. And it's no discredit to Rossi Morreale. He did okay with what he was given.
Right.
But I would love to see Sale of the Century go for another run.
Oh, okay. So you would do your live stream version of the show, or would it be more like a?
I think the closest I can do to a live stream version, because I know how to throw people off of VCam, is probably Russian Roulette.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like any games that I've tried, it was just more like they've already had the template, and it just seems more like a one-off, just like for fun and stuff. But it's something I've often like looked at as to like what would be like a good game show that would just really translate well, where you get the audience interact, whether in the chat or just even like or even being participants. So that's cool. I mean, once you have it up and running, I'll definitely look forward to check it out and see what's going on and everything.
I do have a fourth. I lied and I said three. I actually have a fourth.
All right.
I would love to bring
All right,
it
let's
back.
hear it.
And the only reason why I couldn't bring it back with the host in question is because he became such a GOP bigot. No offense if you're watching this. He became such a GOP bigot that you could never ask him to host a show. But I would love to see Scrabble come back. Scrabble was a fantastic show. It was great daytime television. It had nothing, if you think about it, it really had nothing to do with Scrabble. It was basically Hangman with the pink tiles and the blue tiles and a speed round. But it was entertaining. It was a great game.
I forgot they had Scrabble on.
Mm-hmm.
It's some of it's slowly come by. Others, I probably had to dig a little deep just to remember if I've either seen it or at least heard.
Well, you should know Scrabble because it was on the same NBC daytime lineup as Sale of the Century. And Wheel of Fortune, the daytime Wheel of Fortune.
I guess Sale of the Century left more of a mark than Scrabble, I guess.
Well, the thing about Sale of the Century was not only was there the NBC daytime version, but there was also the syndicated version that went from 85 to 88.
Yeah.
That was the thing to do. You had a popular daytime version, then you would opt to do a syndicated version. And it wasn't just an 80s thing. They did that in the 70s too. But you think about $25,000 Pyramid on CBS, and Bob Stewart said, well, CBS, it works really well on CBS. Let's try to shop $100,000 Pyramid for prime time. And it worked. It went 85 to, not 89, probably 87. And then they brought it back again in 91 with John Davidson as the host for 2 seasons.
There's another name I haven't heard in a while.
John Davidson, who hosted Hollywood Squares from 86 to 89.
And co-host of That's Incredible.
That's right. Along with
Fran Tarkenton and Kathy Lee Crosby.
That's right. That's right. Yes. This is I'm so geeking out right now.
Well, that and have you ever watched Real People?
Oh yeah. Sarah Purcell?
Yep, you had Skip Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you had like Mark Russell,
Yep.
Byron Allen. Sometimes I had Peter Billingsley, but that was like later on. I know there's some. Oh, Skip. No, not Skip. Bill Haggerty, was it? No, not Bill.
Bill Rafferty, who ended up
Rafferty, that's
hosting the syndicated version of Card Sharks, 86 to 87, 88. And he hosted Blockbusters on NBC, the revival of that. He hosted a couple of. He was a game show host, but also a stand-up comic, and he passed away too early in his life too.
I kind of forgot that he did. I have to look that up too because that one eluded me. But I remember I remember more for Real People than some of the latter work. But it always a kick whenever I see any of them popping up, mostly on YouTube.
Blockbusters would be a good game to bring back too. Rich, you would know about Blockbusters. Blockbusters is very popular in the UK. Blockbusters would do great here. I think people love that sort of trivia quizzer based on, you get the first letter of the word and you're trying to go either up or down or left or right on a hexagonal board. It's a great game. That's right. The host of Blockbusters in the UK was a gentleman by the name of Bob Holness. That's right. And definitely had a longer run in the UK than it did in the United States.
So Real People, That's Incredible. Actually, Real People. I think Real People was NBC. That's Incredible was ABC. I don't know if CBS had their version of something of the.
CBS had Candid Camera.
Yeah, but that was a little bit. That
a little different.
Was a little bit different than what the other. Yeah.
With Alan Funt, right?
Yeah, although I forgot at one point, like latter iterations of it, that he had like some sort of co-host, but it just was. It wasn't the same then when he had just had that Funt at the helm there.
Rich says, "I'll have a pee, please, Bob." It's like playing a countdown. I'll take 5 smalls and a large, or I'll take 4 vowels and 3 consonants.
See, I thought you were putting in an order at Wendy's or something like that.
Didn't have dinner. That sounds good. I could go for some dinner. That sounds great. But I got Fogo on Sunday, so I should pretty much not eat between now and Sunday at 2:00.
Gotcha. Oh,
it's funny. I'm looking at my side monitor. I still have the picture of the beef rib up there. So why am I torturing myself? It's not right.
Well, imagine that the picture of the meat is tainted or something like that, so that way it'll
tainted.
You don't want that. Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to help you just get your mind off of food.
Oh, I appreciate that. Very much so. But it's not tainted. It's a beautiful piece of meat. I mean, it's just fantastic. Love it.
Well, think of it that he accidentally dropped it and they kicked it around as a soccer ball, so they just caramelize it just to get rid of the bruise.
Yeah, but why would I do that? Go back to main here.
Okay, it's a stretch.
Yeah, it is a stretch. Yeah, that's right. Jimmy Carr does a hybrid version of Countdown. What was it? The Cats Show. It's so Jimmy Carr did a version of Countdown for one of their comedy shows, but that they had it made a regular recurring series, which was just a comedy-based version of Countdown.
Was he
4 out of 3 cats? Jimmy Carr hosted a couple shows in the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a name not quite familiar as the others, but it'll probably come to me if I see it by sight or something like that.
8 out of 10 cats. That's right. 8 out of 10 cats does Countdown. That's the name of the Jimmy Carr version of it. It's sad. They actually had Ann Richardson host Countdown. You know, Weakest Link lady.
Yeah.
And Ann Robinson Richardson. Ann Robinson. They had Ann Robinson host a season or two of Countdown, which was great. But like, I really wish she would have stayed on the show, because you think of Ann Robinson as this very tight-lipped, very strict person hosting a fun game like Countdown, and like, you know, she ended up leaving. Yeah,
Right.
Jimmy Carr ended up doing the Comedy Central roast. That's where you remember him from.
Okay, that's what I thought. I remember there was like a couple of games he did in the UK, but I never caught the show in its entirety to get a sense of what they were like.
Oh, he hosted a show called was it Shafted or something, where basically they destroy the you bring in items, and if you get it wrong or you end up losing the game, they destroy it. I think Jimmy Carr hosted the UK version of that. We had a United States version of it too, that was hosted by, you know, Chris Hardwick. You know, At Midnight, Chris Hardwick, The Wall, Chris Hardwick, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hosted the UK version of that.
Cool.
Yeah. Which, you know, it's funny. NBC has so many episodes of The Wall that they have not aired yet, and they taped that before the pandemic. All this inventory they just not have shown. And I know that they're trying to find a time slot to show it, but like, Wall was a good show. With the another Plinko like game, but with giant dodgeballs getting down a 100-foot wall.
Right.
Yeah, and then Rich says he does the UK version of Roast Battle too. Yeah, Jimmy Carr. So I definitely have some ideas with the genre. It's just I haven't had any sort of original concept ruminate lately, and the next one I feel the next one I can start crafting, I'll definitely start working on the logistics of it. But like, I'm definitely a student of the old genre, definitely a student of 60, 70 years of history, 80 years of history, go back to radio. It's like, come on, the game show, the talent show is such a great genre, and you know, it should be heralded, it should be celebrated. I mean, you know, you think about what it became as far as reality shows, and where we end up getting Survivor and Big Brother and whatnot. And not to throw any shame on Big Brother or Survivor. I enjoy the two shows at one time in my life. I don't really care for them now, because you end up having these contestants that are overhyped, over personalitied. It's bad. And I hate saying this, Rob, but I don't know what the producers at Price are doing over at 7800 Beverly Boulevard, but like, the contestants that end up going on Price are so overhyped, and maybe because they have a small audience, because they're only working with 50 to 55 people, but I'm tired of it. And like, I'm at the gym on a Thursday. So Thursday I'm getting ready for strength training, and I'll put on the last 20 minutes of Price before I go lift some weights. And they put these contestants on, and they are so, I want to change the channel, but then I don't, because it's Price. It's my favorite game show. But like, they're ruining the game show. It's been ruined the last few years with Drew as the host and the production staff behind it.
Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting concept just to have like modern comedians to be the host, but you know, when you like you say, like, if you're phoning in, or if you're not learning the game, and just focusing more on the showmanship of it.
I think NBC's trying to wheel Rich. Yeah, we bought the concept. I just forgot what network landed it, but I like the wheel. It's a great concept. You know, people spinning around in a circle and answering trivia questions, and they're not really spinning. There's a pointer that's moving around, but yeah, we've bought it.
Right.
The funny thing is, Rob, as much as we've, you know, really just took a very critical look at Drew Carey in this show tonight, the person that needs to be heralded and celebrated for the work that he's done would be Wayne Brady. because
Right.
he's doing such an incredibly good job with Let's Make a Deal. Like,
Yep.
so it can be done. Wayne comes off very genuine. His audience participation is phenomenal because he's an improv actor, improv comedian.
Yep.
Drew is supposed to be one too, but Wayne is a lot better at it. Let's be clear about that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not necessarily to say that comics can't be really good game show hosts. They can be.
Right.
But their mind has to be in the right place.
Exactly.
Rich says we could do a scaled down version of the wheel with a randomized wheel online. That's not a half bad idea. We could try that. I don't have any equipment right now, but give me a couple weeks, we could do something. Sure.
I can dig it.
I'm a big fan of Let's Make a Deal. I mean, I think of the old Monty Hall episodes back in the 70s and, you know, and you know, through its various iterations, and then the syndicated version in the 80s, which, funny enough, Jeff Edwards was a substitute host for that too, tying the whole story back together. But then I it's a very storied franchise, and Wayne Brady has done it well. The funny thing about Monty Hall is this. He is an ex Goodson Todman person, ended up owning that concept all by himself, and that was his moneymaker. Don't get me wrong. He had a couple other good ideas. Split Second, great concept. It just never took off. You're talking about the 70s version where it lasted 3 to 4 seasons with Tom Kennedy, and then the revival with Monty hosting in 86. Great game. You show 3 answers, and then you give the question, and the 3 contestants buzz in 1, 2, 3, and they, you know, whoever buzzes in first gets to pick of which one they want to tackle and answer the question. Love it, because it's a buzzer game, but it's not a traditional buzzer game. And second of all, it could be very, very intelligent in the way the questions are worded. And so maybe there's a 5th one. Maybe Split Second needs to come back too.
Right.
With a belated hi to Callie.
I didn't know she said hi until I remember you said something, and then I'm like, I saw something in the feed there. I'm like, oh.
So, rattling off all these games and all these shows, now you have hours of watching on YouTube this weekend.
I'll probably most likely default the password just because I always love the wordplay interaction and stuff. But the good thing about replay is I can always replay and just kind of review which programs that jumped out for you to check out.
Mm-hmm.
As
Absolutely.
long as I don't misspell it.
Yeah, it's probably a problem. I think I'm going to put a giant bow on this and call it a night, sir. Thank you for jumping
Okay.
on. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, my pleasure. I always mean to geek out with you on game show because
You know
every
what?
time
If you want to jump on and geek out about game shows at any time, any of these Friday shows or whenever, I can spend hours upon hours doing it.
Okay, noted. I'll
And I'll
remember that.
notice the
Do that.
YouTube. I'll notice the YouTube statistics that drops down to practically nothing, but that's okay. I love the conversation anyway. It was really good.
That's all about, just having a good conversation and having fun. So
A conversation about anything and everything. We didn't lie about it. That happens. Rob,
Exactly.
have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself, man.
you too, JV.
Thanks for
and,
jumping on.
Take care of yourself, man.
You got it.
My
Take
pleasure.
care. Bye.
Yep.
Rob, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, good conversation. Loved it. As far as next week, I don't know if we're doing a venture next week because there's some travel coming up. But if there is, it'll be pre-recorded, and we'll talk about the concept that we're supposed to talk on Tuesday, but you know, life and work got in the way, and that of codependency and stoicism. That'll be the next episode. Could be Tuesday, could be pre-recorded. Keep an eye on YouTube and Facebook to find out for sure. And then we'll be back again 1 week from tonight, Friday night, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, for another episode of VF Talks, where we talk about anything and everything with Matt Haas, Paul Burke, and all of you. But until then, have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, stay so